And hello, everybody. Hope you are all doing well. So I see Anthony Mark first in the house says, I'll definitely catch the replay tomorrow morning. Well, in that case, if this is tomorrow morning for you, good morning. Mike Richards is here from Columbus, Ohio. The finest thing to come out of Columbus, Ohio is indeed Mike Richards. Granted, that is a low bar. 47 Yorktown is here from the Canadian Far East. Hope things are going well in the Great White North as I am being attacked by a killer chihuahua. Serstra's in the house says greetings, and Bradley says zup, y'all. And, by the way, help me out here because you always do this in your, when you come on, Bradley. What does XD mean? Because I'm not good with decoding such things. And by the way, I'm just stalling for time. Danny, it shows, is connected, but I don't see or hear him. So I don't know what's going on with Danny right now. I'm assuming he's having some kind of technical difficulty. So I figure I will stall as long as I possibly can. Ben One Eye says, hey, thanks for nuking your massive European audience by moving the show to 4 in the morning. I am so sorry, Ben. You can blame Danny. It's, I would, it's kind of, you can join me in the morning. Well, what's the morning for me? I guess it would be the afternoon for you for my church live streams. But yeah. We'll figure something out. Miss Moneypenny is here. Miss Moneypenny, I keep thinking of you every time I watch that new Deadpool trailer because of all the references to one of your favorite activities, cocaine. Arabic says, you're untrue. How you doing, my friend? Sirstra says, this is what XD is the maniacal laughing face kind of thing. Okay. Thank you. Arabic saying hi to Miss Moneypenny. Alex Bogey says, how much wood? I would say $179,000. That's that. I'm not committing to that because I don't know what you're asking for. Mike Richards says, Ohio is better than Tennessee. You are so wrong about that because, you see, Tennessee has my wife in it, and so Trump's Ohio right there. Tennessee also has the Experience Community Church, which is freaking awesome. But, I'm not going to say if you took those things out of Tennessee, then you might be right. At least from what I know about the internet. Oh, well, hey, if that's what it means, that's what it means. Mr. One Eye says, well, if you move it even later, I can just get up in the morning and watch it live. Well, yeah, how much later? Maybe we'll talk. It's just a smiley face from when I was younger, like Pokemon XD Guild Darkness. By the way, now T'Pring is licking the microphone, so I hope it's not too loud. And she just adjusted the volume, so I don't know how it came out. And there, Alex says, how much would you want in Super Chat to review Pretty Maid all in a row? Shows the sexy vision that Gene Roddenberry had for Trek. Well, I don't know. Where would I watch Pretty? Is it? That's what it's called, Pretty Maid all in a row? I know you mentioned that before, but I don't know. Let's see. Well, Pretty Maids All in a Row is a song. There you go. IMDb, Pretty Maids All in a Row. So, yeah, written by Gene Roddenberry and Francis something. Oh, it stars Rock Hudson. That's interesting. So is this a movie or is this, and if so, where would I watch it? That's the question. Let's see. So pre-made all in a row from 1971. But, I don't know why you think this is Gene Roddenberry's vision for Star Trek. It looks like it has nothing to do with Star Trek. Yeah, Miss Moneypenny is face palming and saying hi to Arabic. Ben One Eye says, I say like around midnight your time. Well, that would be a little late for me. That'd be 10 o'clock Danny's time, and I think he does, that would be right about when his AA meeting is. But I will tell you, that killed me that one time that we did the recording at 1:30 in the morning. So, I don't know. Yeah. Yep, Pretty Maid. It's maids, plural. On a Rose, 1971 movie, kind of softcore murder mystery. Yeah, it looks absolutely horrible. So I don't know. Obviously need to cover the rental for it because it's not free anywhere, at least nowhere legit that I can see. But when you say it's soft core, if you mean that it's like soft core porn, then I'm not doing it because I don't watch porn, even soft core. But let me see here. I can't see the chat for a minute. I'm just bringing up the Wikipedia on it. From the nursery rhymes, see, Mary, quite contrary. He goes, okay. But he it's all in a row. It's a 1971 American sexploitation film that is part black comedy, part sex comedy, and part murder mystery, starring Rock Hudson and Angie Dickinson and Telly Savalas. It was released on April 28th, 1971, so just after my birthday when I turned 3 years old. Roger Vadim directed the film, and Gene Roddenberry produced and wrote the screenplay based on 1968 novel. This film was Roddenberry's only feature film writing credit. Yeah, well, sounds terrible. The film was poorly received by most critics, with Roger Ebert calling it embarrassing. And Ken Hankey of the Mountain Express remarking in 1971, this is pretty daring and friendly. Unfortunately, it's no longer 1971. Quentin Tarantino selected this film as one of his choices for Sight and Sound magazine's 2012 edition, Top 10 Greatest Films of All Time. Of course he did. Of course he did. Dang, Danny, what is going on, buddy? I don't know if you can hear me or not, but, been live now for almost 10 minutes. So let me send him a message.
If you are unable to fill
I
on
can.
your own, yeah, you can deal with no video for a little bit, or you can keep killing time and
What's going on?
just everything. And Mom, why are you calling me? Good God. So anyway, it's a busy day, man. I'm juggling, like, this is, juggling a job now. It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm trying. So I wanted to be here early to make sure. I've just been having some kind of weird EV Mux issues. So I've been listening while I've been trying to get stuff fixed.
Right. I was about to text you. Is all. I didn't know if you could even hear me. You
I
said
sent you a message through EV Mux.
I do not see it.
Chat. Go click on your private chat tab.
Let me see. Oh, okay, yeah, there. Well, when I'm live, I don't usually look at the private chat when I think.
I figured because you were in EV Mux, it would give you a pop up or something, but I guess
No, it doesn't pop up. It just there's like a little tiny thing at the bottom.
With this, let's we can get going.
All right. Well, you
Worst
let me
case
know when
scenario.
you're ready, and you know,
Oh,
we'll
okay. All right. Let me work on this camera thing.
all right.
Yeah. All right.
So Danny's working on his camera thing. Anyway, Alex, yeah, you know, I don't know if I mean, would you? If it, I haven't seen the movie, so is it softcore porn, or is it just implied sexuality? If it's just implied sexuality, sure, I would do it. But if it's actually softcore porn, no. Next week on Discovery, the gang find audio of Morn's voice. Cersei says the only Pretty Maids all in a row I know is the Eagles song. And hello, Discovery. Done X-Men on question mark. Well, we not yet. We haven't done anything yet. I'm waiting for Danny to work on some technical issues. Alex says Pretty Maids has the tone of Trek, specifically like Mud's Women. Alex, I highly doubt that this movie has any tone that is even remotely like Trek. However, if you really want me to do it, you know, I would say, you know, so you'd have to super chat me for the time and for the rental. I'd probably say like $30, and I'd be willing to do it. Maybe it has lots of women with short mini skirts and boob windows in it. Let's see. Stanley says homosexual actors shouldn't be allowed to play heterosexual characters. Talking about Rock Hudson. That's just messed up. You gotta have to ban a lot of old movies. That is true. Anything with George Takei in it. Be right back. All right. We'll see you on the flip. Just another three.
Whoa! What'd I miss? Is George Takei getting canceled? What happened?
No, someone said that gay actors shouldn't play straight characters.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll be back. Sorry.
Yeah.
The George Takei caught my ear, so I had to.
Okay. Stanley's, yeah, because, you know, Danny is a thing for George Takei. Just another 3-hour stream, says Stan. Well, I hope not. We can hear mumbling. They're talking about Danny, I'm sure. What's this a job place? Was this a job placement position? I don't know what the job situation is, but let's not derail this into talking all about Danny's job once he gets here.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to answer the question, but then you said that. Okay, I'll be right back.
Yeah. Whoa! All of a sudden, Danny got really loud. Well, while
was that too loud? It might.
Well, it just caught me by surprise. I don't know. I'd have to ask the first.
That's one of the things I'm fixing. Remember, I told you it's resetting my sound and my camera every time I come into EV Mux now, and I can't figure out why. So, is the sound good at least?
I don't know. Audience, how's the sound? Do we sound?
Let us know. I'm still working on the camera. I'll be back.
Well, it has a start of love sings. I don't think it crosses into porn category. Rock Hudson's character is Kirk-like ladies' man, guidance counselor, and his protege is shy kid like Wesley. Well, you do know that Kirk was not as much of a ladies' man as most people make him out to be, except for like in the J.J. Abrams films. And Stan wants to know if Danny, when you get back, if you have another stupid probation period. But most businesses do. So what's the deal? The masks keep their faces in a gel state. The way I understood it, and we'll talk about it obviously when we get there, but that the Breen have a difficult time maintaining the gelatin state when exposed to an atmosphere, and so they would naturally go to the solid state. Implied sexuality, kind of TNG level. All right, I can deal with that. Maybe flesh pink tone. I'm not sure what you mean. Here, Takei is doing the voice of an alien in the show Resident Alien. That is 100% true, and it is hilarious. If you have not seen...
All right.
If you
can you see me now?
I can. If you have not seen Resident Alien, it is a hilarious show starring Alan Tudyk as an alien.
Oh, I haven't. What's that on?
The first 2 seasons are available on Netflix. Season 3 is currently going on Peacock, I believe.
I Peacock. Do I need to see? Is it one of those shows you can just jump in whenever? Like,
No. You want to start with season 1. You absolutely want to start.
see,
with
what I miss like old, like you could
Right,
watch something like Friends back in the day, and
yeah,
it didn't matter what order you watched.
but
It,
this
really.
is worth it. Trust me.
All right.
It is an hour
Well,
long.
I don't have Netflix, but
Yeah,
I'll
but
get
if
it
if all
eventually.
3 seasons are on Peacock, then just watch it on Peacock.
So I did kind of get good news today. I'm sorry, like we usually do a little catching up.
Well, hold on. Let me
Finish your chat stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but just talking about Resident Alien. So, and just so you know, Danny, so Resident Alien stars Alan Tudyk, he's a doctor in a very small town. He owns a cabin on the lake, and it's a very small town in Colorado. And in the first episode, an alien shows up and crash lands in the area and kills the doctor and replaces him. And his plan is to wipe out all of humanity once he finds the device he misplaced when he crash landed. But he's got to blend in the meantime. But his blending in is hilariously bad. I mean, because he's like walking around going, I am a human, and people are buying it. And it's just absolutely hilarious to watch. Alan Tudyk just absolutely nails it as this alien. And he's like, I really like most people except for you. You are a meat sack. It's just the dialogue is so funny. And so he plays this weird, tall, green alien, but he talks about the grays, the gray aliens, the classic gray aliens. And he keeps talking about how they are dickheads. And then we finally meet the leader of the grays, and it's voiced by George Takei.
Okay. So, Mother, did you tell me this?
It was 3 years ago.
Over 50. If it was over 53 days ago,
it was 3 years ago.
All I can do, Mother, is say I'm sorry. Please forgive me. That was during we'll just call that like a blackout period of my life.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yes. It's in season 3 right now.
Okay.
So season 3 is currently streaming on Peacock. Seasons 1 and 2 are available on Netflix. I don't know if season 1 and 2 are available on Peacock. I'm sure they are. So if you have Peacock, you can probably watch all 3 seasons. And I highly recommend the show.
All right. Yeah. I got Peacock. I just don't have Netflix.
It is hilarious.
But,
I don't have Peacock. I have Netflix. So
you can use my Peacock because it's not like Netflix.
You need
and
a
in fact,
premium, you need a premium membership to watch it. I know that much.
Oh, I have the cheapest one, which means I just watch commercial. Like I can see everything.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if you have the regular commercial version of you can watch it. I don't know.
Okay.
But anyway,
well, that's kind of a segue. Good news. I got some good news with the job thing. So to answer, I think it was Stan's question about the probationary period, right? That was a question that I heard while I was fixing the camera. So yes, every job has this. However, I had a really good meeting with the boss today, and I've already in just 2 weeks, like tomorrow will be the end of 2 weeks, and he's already closed. Well, he's closed one deal, and he's bid. He closed one deal off of stuff I did. He's got a bid that's still open on 4 places, and he's done a walkthrough on another. So the process is he does a bid, then he does a walkthrough, or vice versa. He does a walkthrough, then a bid. I don't know yet. I'm still learning this stuff. And then if they sign the contract, and that's a closed deal. So anyway, so like, and I brought them like they're happy. They're over the moon with me. So he told me that.
What?
I'll get to that in a second. But anyway, so he was telling me today two bits of good news. One, he's like, don't worry about the probationary period. Like, you're awesome. We'll start on the next deal that we close. We'll go ahead and even start your commission. So I don't even have to wait till day 91 for the commissions now.
Yeah, Stanley's asking, what is it? You say you're talking
I've told you guys, I'm a marketing director for a commercial cleaning company. Okay. And we're in Las Vegas.
So you find prospects for them to sign.
Well, right. So right now I'm wearing a bunch of hats because the company's pretty small. So I'm doing pretty much everything right now. But the goal, while I'm doing it, and walking them along with it, I'm also documenting and making things like training materials, because everything we have right now is this growth mindset. And, these are huge. It's all about getting contracts. Once you have enough residual once this company has enough residual revenue to not have to stress about things, we can keep expanding. And then we'll have a sales team. So right now we've got, everybody's wearing a bunch of different hats because they don't know the corporate structure and the marketing, and like they've got people who can do the sales, like that know what they're trying to sell, the service. Cause I still don't know a lot about what it is. I just know how to market shit. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter as long as I got somebody who knows what the hell we're marketing it. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not doing the sales, so to speak. I'm just setting up, a whole bunch of structure that they don't have that make the marketing machine work to keep a steady stream of phone calls, inquiries, whatever,
Right.
Flowing. And they've been super busy for like the last, week solid. So like stuff I started doing on day one it was reflecting the very next day type of thing, So they're super happy. So it's going very, very well. And the other bit of good news that he gave me is I thought I was not getting my first paycheck until the 3rd, but that is not the case. I supposedly I'm going to get a check tomorrow.
That's good.
But I don't think that's going to be the case because he hasn't even taken my, there's W-4 type shit. There's still a couple things like.
You haven't done your W-4 yet?
Well, yes and no. Like I've done it.
No, either you've done it or you haven't.
No, I have it. I have it filled out, but it's not in the correct. It's not in the payroll place's possession, yet. So that's got to that's supposed to happen tonight.
So you've been working illegally.
No, we've done. No, the boss has it. The payroll company doesn't have a copy of it. So he doesn't do payroll in-house. He has a payroll company that handles all of that. You get what I'm saying now?
Yeah, because, you got to have all that paperwork done.
No shit. I'm talking about the payroll company. They just haven't gotten it. So I actually I gave my boss it doesn't matter. Everything will work out. And if it doesn't, then I was planning on the 3rd anyway. So I think but whatever. Point is, they're super happy with me.
Well, Alex
life is
has
good.
a chat for you.
God is good. What's up?
Read the screen.
Dork Knight, something to look forward to. My liver healed itself after 1 year of not drinking, but it gets harder to stay motivated after that, especially when others drink around you. Well, that's why I go to AA every day. 1. 2, I'm also taking milk thistle. And 3, I mean, good Lord, man. I've only been, I think this is day 52. Let me check my app. I love this app.
That sounds about right.
Let's see. This is day 52, and
I would say
like
this.
every aspect of my life has gotten just infinitely better. So I'll never drink again. I'm fairly certain.
And the thing is that if people drinking around you bothers you, the solution
it doesn't.
Well, but
it doesn't
I'm just saying,
at all. Yeah.
But even if it doesn't, you shouldn't be in situations where people are drinking around you.
Sometimes you can't avoid it. Like, for example, tomorrow my boss is taking me to some networking mixer, and it's at a place called Ghost Bar. But I'll be fine. I mean, dude, trust me. I've been to it's funny. A bunch of us guys after the meetings, so you have the meeting, then you have fellowship, and then you go. Like sometimes you just go home, or sometimes we'll all go out to eat somewhere or something. And on nights where we're not wanting to drive somewhere, there's literally a village pub in the same strip. It's like 2 businesses down from us, but they have a restaurant area and a bar, but after a certain time you can only go into the bar area, and that's where we go to eat. And it's always, and we always joke about it stuff, but like if you've got a problem being around drinking, you've got a bigger problem than where I'm at right now, so
I wouldn't don't say that, because that's
no, I'm not saying you to the person. I'm saying in the general you, like if people, but
the thing is that like
they have a different problem. That's a better way to
You thought you
put
were
it.
in a really good place before, and then you ended up passed out.
So this is something that
you need to be careful about being overconfident.
Hey man, I respect that. I know how I feel. It's like it's completely different. I'm super committed to this, and I'm becoming really more active. Like not only do I chair the Monday meetings, a buddy of mine who chairs a Tuesday was stuck in California, so I filled in for him,
And
and I
here's
chaired on
another one just
Tuesday.
for you.
Let's see, Bradley Briggs. Be very, very careful in this modern world we live in, y'all. I just seen a guy sold his man juice for $150, and it cost him 40% of his paycheck for the next 18 years. That's crazy. That's funny. So, what's that got to do with me?
I don't know. I just thought of.
So basically, he was saying that he was getting child support for donating. I don't know if that was a joke or what. So anyway, let's. Okay, another one here. Alex Bogey, Dork Knight, good for you because I feel a sense of injustice when others are having fun while I can't take the edge off. Yeah, Alex, man, it hasn't happened to me yet. I don't feel like it's injustice because here's the thing, man. I don't know you or your situation or anything, but I do know like what's in the book, and it's crazy because when I read this book, it's weird. It's like, did this dude read my diary? Like, how does he know my life so well? Like, he's like, it's crazy, man. So like, and that doesn't happen with everybody, and there's also things that are open to interpretation, so you can apply it. Yeah, let's get back to the show. You're the one that keeps putting this stuff up.
I'm just, you wanted to talk about all your personal stuff, so I know you like to air your dirty laundry on the internet.
No, it's fine. It's whatever. People are asking. I'm an open book. I don't really care. I'm excited, man.
Obviously,
yeah. I'm actually the most excited I've been in a very long time. So, you moving us to the top now?
Well, it makes sense considering you put our names up at the top.
I do see. Yeah, and then I did this last time, and then you didn't like it there.
Although
so then I
your
moved
thing
them all to the bottom.
Way longer than mine, so it's like it's weird.
Yeah, I have a new one that I fixed. Do you want me to upload it?
Well, not the second, but
okay. Well, I have a new one that I fixed. That's what I used on today's thumbnail. In fact, here I'll put it up. You won't even notice. But yeah, let's. Everybody's heard enough about my stuff. Things are good. God is good. That's all you need to know. If you want details, DM me or something, or give me a phone call. I don't care. So we're doing the X-Men first, huh?
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So for anybody who wants to help us mark the time, so we can put a timestamp in for people who show up in the future and just want to see the X-Men review.
27:30 is the current time.
27:30. There we go.
All right. So we start out with Gambit's funeral. Kind of depressing.
Yeah.
And Jubilee is upset because Rogue isn't there because, whatever. And of course,
Wolverine's got to explain it. Everybody grieves differently. Like, right. I went to one of my best friends who passed away. I went to their wake, but I couldn't go to their funeral because I was just a fucking wreck. And I still have friends to this day who are like mad at me about that. But
and I guess Nightcrawler is now an ordained priest.
Well, no, it just makes sense. Well, yeah. I mean, remember I told you in the first episode he was appointed to some position, and I imagine you'd have to be. Yeah, he was for Madripoor. He was
I thought he just lived there as like.
No, man, we have had this conversation. It's in the very first episode where they meet. No, not the first episode. It's the first time. It's right, first scene with Nightcrawler. Yeah. Right, he literally says that he was appointed on some kind of thing as the. I can't remember how he put it. The high religious leader, some shit. I can't remember what it was, but it was something like that.
Well, he gives a horrible sermon. I just got to say, I mean, it's.
Why do you think it's horrible? I mean, he's just.
For one thing, there's like no theology in it whatsoever. He just talks about, well, Gambit would say is the cards like life is wild, and it's like. This is not a sermon.
You're funny, man. Oh my god, that's cool though.
Nightcrawler is supposed to be religious.
That's so funny. Maybe it's because I'm kind of new returning to Christianity, and you're like in the thick of it. I actually thought this was good.
No, it's horrible because he gives an entire message without talking about God.
Oh, see, I didn't even notice, man. That's terrible. I'm sorry.
And meanwhile, Thor's there apparently. So they're at the funeral. Jubilee's upset, And meanwhile, Rogue decides to go all, Man of Steel and just tears the crap out of a military installation designed as a Hulk. Hulk.
Is being Hulk proof,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
General Ross is there and he's still kind of scared of the Hulk.
And of course, this is taken right out of the Capcom games.
Oh yeah, it's straight out of it. Yeah, look, it's even got that anime like
Right.
weird, her leg got longer all of a sudden kind of thing. Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's General Ross. And I got to say, the guy they got to voice Ross sounded...
It's the same guy. It's the same voice actor from What If.
Okay, yeah, because it sounds like it sounds like the guy, I can't remember his name, that passed away, that was playing Ross up until...
Yeah, that's why this was the guy that was... I know you're the one that died that was playing him before Harrison Ford.
Right.
This guy was... You know how, like, in What If, the guy that does Tony Stark sounds like Robert Downey Jr., but it's not?
Right.
So he's one of those guys where they basically tell him to, like, sound like this actor doing this role blatantly.
And yes, Stan. So ordination is something that happens within most religious orders, and it is.
Yes, he is ordained. That was the word that was used that I forgot.
Well, like I said, I don't remember that, but I'm just saying, just to answer what Stan Lee's asking about. Is it illegal or something to wear a priest collar without being ordained? No, but it is kind of tacky. Unless if you're not an actor playing a part or an actual clergy, you shouldn't be wearing that. But you can go to any religious supply store and get a collar shirt. In fact, you can order them on Amazon. Anyway, so yeah, General Ross is all like, this place is built to withstand the Hulk, and then immediately she comes busting in. And it's like, people forget just how powerful Rogue is. Because remember, Rogue has all the power of Captain Marvel. And if you've seen Captain Marvel or in, Endgame, you should know she is pretty darn powerful. Anyway, and then Cyclops is whining at the president because they don't want to help. And, which I'm sorry, Genosha isn't the United States. It's not the federal government's problem. I know Alex Bogey will be with me on this. I don't think the United States government is responsible for what happened, except to say that if anybody that was responsible for it was in the United States, they should arrest them. So then the X-Men go back to Genosha and I still want to know why they left Genosha. There's no real explanation for that because they were in Genosha before, but they go back. And then we get a really unexpected cameo from Captain America. What did you think of that?
What do you think of the fix? Did you even notice?
No, because I can't. I'm controlling the video, so I can't see it. It looks
Anywho,
fine.
So I mean, he was in the he and Logan or Wolverine, battled in the war together in the first, in X-Men the animated series. So I wasn't surprised to see him. I was more surprised to see Quicksilver, but that was just because it was Morph, and I didn't realize it at first.
Yeah, me too. I thought, oh wow, Quicksilver. And
then, that's exactly what I was like. Yeah,
it's Morph.
Yeah.
But no, I thought it was cool to see Cap.
No, it was cool, but I mean, I feel like they're setting up, and this is after your time because this is while I was working with the comic book shop on their internet marketing.
Avengers versus X-Men.
Yeah, I think they're setting that up. Yeah, I mean, they're starting to break Scott Summers bad. It looks like, other people are kind of leaning that way. I mean, Rogue definitely. Jesus, Rogue murdered somebody. Basically, you know what I mean?
No, not basically. She murdered somebody.
Yeah, yes. Okay, there you go. Yeah.
It was not she basically, no, she straight up killed the guy.
Yeah. I mean, so she's broken bad, so, and I think I mean, I could be wrong. I probably am wrong. It's probably just wishful thinking, but I think this is going to lead in. I think the story arc for season 2 is going to be Avengers versus X-Men, or X-Men versus Avengers, whatever. But I think that's where this is leading, to be honest. So that's what my takeaway, like, especially with this going down here, and then they've got Operation Zero Tolerance all over the place.
Right.
Which, spoilers, sorry, they didn't reveal that yet in the show, but that's all that means. That's all that is.
Yeah, I figured. You like dropping spoilers, don't you?
Sorry.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, me and Danny were talking the other day about Old Man Logan, and I told him I hadn't read it, and he's like, "Oh, it's so cool!" Right at the end, Hulk eats Logan. I'm like, "Oh, what?" And he goes, and then it's like the last panel where Wolverine busts out of him, and I'm like, "Well, now I don't need to read it." Because I know how it ends.
I'm sorry, but you got to see it. It's like the art.
But
the art is so good. I ruined it for you. I'm sorry. I didn't know you hadn't. I guess
told you I didn't read it before you told me that.
See, look, I'm working on my emotional sobriety, so that's actually a thing. So after, but I'm not ready for that stage yet because I gotta, haven't got my second chip yet. Well, I got, my 2-month chip yet.
And that's a good question, Brian. If you got a blood transfusion from Captain America, would you become a super soldier?
Probably.
You would think so.
Or at least like a Diet Coke version, or
just like I would think it would be interesting. Like, what would happen if you got a blood transfusion from, say, Logan? Would you gain his healing factor?
Yeah. Or even Deadpool or whatever.
Right. We know, and there's precedent for that since, when Jennifer Walters got a blood transfusion from Bruce Banner, she became She-Hulk. So there's definitely, I think, precedence for characters gaining powers that way. And I think that would be interesting, especially, like, I don't think every hero would be like that. Like, I don't think you would suddenly become a teleporter and stuff if you got a blood transfusion from Nightcrawler. But with someone like Captain America and Wolverine, their hemoglobin is enhanced. And so it seems like it would actually make a difference.
Yeah.
So Cap and Rogue have a nice little chit chat, and about how, and Cap's like, well, I need to get permission from the government to go down to Mexico, and Rogue's like, F you, I'm just going. And then she grabs his shield and throws it like 25 miles for no real reason other than just to be a dick, apparently. I mean, what was the point of that?
To keep him busy while she runs off, that's a.
Oh, Alex.
Oh, wow. This is why vaccinated people shouldn't be allowed to give blood.
Really? You're going to go? That makes no sense whatsoever. So what you're saying is
that's
that
funny. That's funny
people who have had no vaccines ever should be the only ones to donate blood. Because if you're going to go off about the COVID vaccine, then how about polio? How about shingles? How about all the other 75 vaccines you had when you were a kid? I understand you don't like the vaccine, but my God, man, get over it.
Don't just leave it at that, because you don't want to get me involved in this conversation.
Why, are you an anti-vaxxer?
No, not necessarily. I am anti the COVID. But see, don't get me started, because I can tell you why. I can give you an intelligent discussion, but I'm not an anti-vaxxer. You know what I mean?
No, so you are an anti-vaxxer.
My problem with the COVID vaccine is never in the history of humankind has something on that massive scale been done so quickly with so little. Like it's like, if you actually do your research,
the COVID vaccine was in development for over a decade, right?
Okay, a part of it, because COVID's been around forever. COVID-19 was just like,
it was just a new variant.
Exactly, just like the flu. look, some people need this shit, some people don't. I've never ever never had the flu in my life. So obviously I've never got COVID. Okay. I'm one of those. I'm probably one of the one, and I should have, but I've literally never had the flu. And the one time, and I never took the flu vaccine because of that ever. But then when I was working with Critical Care Comics, I had to. One of the hospitals made me if I wanted to go into the hospital, which I think is bullshit. So anyway, so I did it for the charity. And then I got, all the flu, because I'd never had one of those effects. I know, but if I don't need it, I should have never had to have gone through that. It's horseshit.
Well, then that don't work for a company that requires it.
You're right. Sure,
But the thing is that and very few people. I mean, I know some people. I never get sick, and then some of those people end up dead. But other people just don't get sick. It just I understand people are different, but at the same.
But my thing with it was too fast. It was too much too soon. I'm sure it's probably. I haven't gone down that rabbit hole in a little bit, and I didn't want to because I don't want to. Because why? Like, what the hell? Why? It's outside of my control.
Speaking
Can't do
of
nothing
why,
about it.
Is that like what's his name? Look at the background, the barbarian looking dude.
Yeah. Looks like he's got two sets of arms. Or there's somebody standing in front of him. Maybe there's nobody standing in front of him. Yeah, what about him?
I'm just saying, he looks like Conan or He-Man or something like that.
It looks like he's got two sets of arms, doesn't it?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's just a still image. He never moves, so he can't. All right, so Mr. Butterfly dude is confronted by Rogue, and he's like, yeah, Jean's not going to be able to read my mind. So she's like, F you, and touches him and absorbs all of his stuff. But then, meanwhile, other crap is happening. Oh, yeah, they find Emma Frost in the rubble. Jubilee and Roberto go to out himself to his parents. Mom already knew, but then she's like, okay, but we need to hide the fact that you're a mutant for the family.
No, it was specifically because it was going to affect the stock. Why are you going so fast? This is a really short episode.
It's not a really short episode. It's just honestly, the problem is the episode just jumps from here to here to here to here to here. This is one of the worst edited episodes in the entire series, I think.
I watched it twice. I mean, it's so funny. Anyway,
this episode doesn't have a cohesive story. This episode is random scenes in different locations. That's I gotta say, that's one thing that I don't like about this episode.
Well, I don't understand what you mean. They're on Madripoor, and then they're not.
There's like 17 threads going in one episode. That's too many. That's like that's 15 too many.
Look, I mean, I don't understand what he's saying. You couldn't keep up. What are you like? You slow like I'm not supposed to say that word anymore. It's on this list here. You one of those? You one of those?
Really? Like, you're gonna go there? You're gonna accuse me of being intellectually incapable just because I think that.
I mean, that's kind of how I liked it. I watched it. Did you watch it twice? Maybe my judgment's clouded because I watched it twice.
Maybe you're just being a dick by saying that. But what I'm saying is not that I can't keep up. I'm saying that it's not a very well put together story.
I get what you're saying.
It's not a cohesive story. Any one of these threads could have been a very like you could have done an entire episode about Jubilee and Roberto going to his parents and then them wanting him to not out himself as a mutant, and then have something bad happen to where he needs to use his powers to save his parents, and then his parents realize that they shouldn't hide who he is. That could be a story. And if you want that to be
100%, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but they don't have that kind of. They only get 10 episodes, man.
Right. So stop inserting filler and stop adding more and more and more and more and more threads.
What's filler in this episode?
I'm not talking about. I'm talking about like life death. Did we need that?
Oh no, I mean, well, yeah, but we're
Okay.
talking about this week's episode, bro.
Okay?
Come on.
Do we need the Roberto scene with his parents?
Well, kinda. I
Why?
mean,
Heck, you could cut Roberto out of this season completely, and it would make no difference.
well, not necessarily true. It's
What
this is
has he
all
done?
okay. No, it's more about character stuff with Jubilee is what he's done.
Right, but then you
know.
cut Jubilee out, and it still makes no difference.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of getting rid of the CW elements, I guess, of it. You know.
Oh well, I'm sorry. You like the CW
It's
elements
not.
of it?
No, not at all. In fact, when we start talking
Okay.
about Discovery, anyway, they jumped off a cliff. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm so pissed at them right now.
Dude, say on this show, okay, we're not talking about Discovery yet. By the way, we never did a hot take on this episode, but my hot take is this one is a hot mess. There you go. And
My hot take was, oh my God, are they going there? I was excited. It left me. It did
I was
exactly what a
not.
TV show is supposed to do. It
Because-
makes you not. I can't wait to watch the next episode, and it's
It-
part
this
one
didn't-
of the 3-part finale.
no, this is next week is part one of the 3 parts.
That's what I'm saying. I know. That's what I just said. And next week starts the part one of
Hmm.
a 3-part finale. Yeah. So I'm excited to
Chief-
see it. That's my point. That's what this did. This made me
Why
excited
are we
to
at the
see it.
bottom of the screen again?
Because I think it looked better at the bottom. It was
Yeah,
cutting
but then
too much
every
stuff
time
up.
we bring up a chat, it covers.
Look
us.
at no, it doesn't. Look,
Look right now. Chief Cook and the YouTube symbol
We
are
can
covering
still-
my face.
not completely. You know,
Oh wow, I'm sorry, not completely.
I can move it up a little bit more. I just it looks
Well, then-
better.
but
It looks
If
off.
if you
there.
put it halfway up, it looks horrible. It neither needs to be at the top or the bottom.
Well, I think this looks good right here. What do you
course.
guys in the chat? What do you guys in the chat think?
Anyway, Chief, if you don't want to hear us talk, you're on the wrong effing
You're on the
channel.
wrong. Yeah, I mean, you really are, man. That's kind of what we do.
I mean, yeah,
It's kind
that's
of our thing,
Yeah. We don't call ourselves nerd fights because we don't argue. you know,
right?
you know?
Oh man.
All right.
So I don't know. My hot take, if I may, was I was basically, it left me excited for. I have no idea what way they're going to go, even though I've read the comic, because they're just mashing up so much stuff together. But some of this stuff is from storylines that like I was in the thick of reading, and I'm pretty sure that you haven't read, that get me excited to see. Like I think Cyclops is going to end up. Cyclops and Rogue, maybe Jean Grey, but at least Cyclops and Rogue are going to go to Madripoor, and they're going to start that extinction storyline over there. But I also think there's a little bit of the X-Men versus Avengers, or Avengers versus X-Men. I always get it backwards, in there. And then there's another storyline with the zero tolerance storyline.
Well, but
so
the
like
problem
there's a
is
lot, and they can still tell the same story that the comic books told over a huge period of time by just changing tiny little things, like because they've been doing it. You know what I mean? Like the reveal that Bastion's the big baddie, but actually I don't think he's I think Apocalypse might be, but it's not Sinister. We're going
Right.
up, we're leveling, it's like a video game. We're at the next level.
But then we see,
and then-
like in this episode, we're introduced to, we find out Nimrod's involved.
Well, Nimrod is
And-
Bastion. Bastion is so Nimrod.
Right.
So Bastion's an amalgamation of Nimrod and Master Mold.
But you don't understand. They're adding too much crap. This is too freaking much.
So,
For
you know
a
what?
10-episode season, this is stupid.
Hold up. Did you read The Age of Extinction and the
No.
Zero Tolerance? Okay, so that's the problem. I have a totally different perspective because I've read this shit and I have all this background knowledge that I guess you're not privy to. I'm excited. So I don't see you. I'm trying to see your point of view now, because now you're frustrated because you're not recognizing the meaning behind some of the stuff that's happened, I guess.
Well,
right?
the problem is that they're not spending enough time on anything to give it meaning. it may, like it may remind you of a really cool story, but like just because it has hints of Age of Extinction
See,
or hints of,
Ben One Eyes nails it right there. None of those words mean anything to someone who doesn't read the comics on a regular
exactly.
basis. So that's fair. That's fair. I have
and that's what I'm talking about. Is that if yeah, exactly, Stan. They're not picking a story and going with it. Instead, they're just trying to throw a little bit of everything in there so that the fans are like, oh, they're doing Age of Extinction. Yeah.
It's like the greatest hits for people familiar with the comics.
Right.
Touche.
So for
that's
people
good.
who
that's
aren't
good.
familiar with the comics, they have no idea what the F is going on.
So I have to consider that now, I guess, because of my point of view, the thought didn't even cross my mind, So
so the problem is that all of this stuff is just mashed together at a frantic pace. And it seems like every episode now, they're adding another storyline.
Yeah, but it's something...
No, don't say but. The answer is, they're adding another storyline that doesn't need to be there. We haven't resolved Mr. Sinister yet, and we're like 3 levels past him.
Well, that's going to come up. That's got to come to a head. The Sinister thing will play itself out, and I think that's what's going to introduce
a villain and go with it.
Well, then you're going to hate I think Apocalypse is going to be revealed. There's going to be a cliffhanger at the end.
I really dislike Apocalypse as a character. I think he's dumb.
Okay.
And so, I mean, which unfortunately, I'm sure he'll show up because why not? They brought everybody else in. So why not Apocalypse?
And you see Ben One Eye, they probably wanted 26 episodes. It's not up to them, the showrunners, the people behind this, And dude, thanks for ruining Rogue for me, because after you pointed out that she sounds as old as the voice actress is, now
did you look her up?
I can't unhear it. No, I can't unhear it now. She does. She sounds like an old lady to me now. Yeah. Thanks to you. And I didn't even notice it because she sounded, in my brain anyway, she sounded like she did in the 90s. But then the second you pointed it out and I could hear the old lady kind of in there, still had the same accent, but as old lady, you've ruined it for me. It's terrible.
Good.
Yeah.
So then Rogue murders.
She straight up murders this fool. Look at her. Yeah, she just told. And Scott's like, because he's like, I probably would have done it too. And Wolverine's like, what the? He's like, oh, what?
And
I think he says, is this what we are now, or something like that? Or somebody does.
Yeah, there's a nice shot.
Oh, and you hear the thud and the people screams, and look, and she's just crying and looking evil and not even remorseful. No remorse whatsoever. That's like, though she's crying because she knows she's evil now. Basically, that's what those tears.
Dark Rogue.
Yeah, no, straight up, man. And I think Scott Summers is not far behind her. I really do. And then they show Magneto at the end of this episode. I wouldn't be surprised we see the 3 of them team up.
But you see, there's too much crap.
See, and all of this is because I've read the stories and I know, like, I'm just regurgitating shit that I've read.
Stop defending it just because you've read cool stuff.
Yeah, but no, it's like that one. Whoever said it in the chat, I think it was Stan. This is really made for. Now I'm starting to realize this is really made for the people who's read all this shit, and it kind of plays like the greatest hits.
Right, but then you want to call me the R word because I don't like that they're going in 17 different directions.
I'll take that back and that whole thing because I didn't. That was before I realized you hadn't read all these different storylines because they came out in the late 2000s or whatever,
Right, but the thing is, okay, so no, I don't. You mentioned Age of Extinction. Now, I don't know what happens in that storyline, but if they wanted to make this season X-Men Age of Extinction, fine, but don't say, okay, we're going to take Age of Extinction and Age of Apocalypse and Old Man Logan. And just start throwing story after story after story after story on there. If all of them are multi-issue arcs,
yeah, dude, the Storm thing was 10 years,
right, and they gave
did her in 2 episodes.
Well, 1.5.
Yeah, yeah.
Really, only one if you just look at the time they dedicated to
Yeah,
her.
that's funny. I wonder if you could play that split second. That it's not long enough for us to get claimed at all. Wolverine's reaction.
Making me go back.
Yeah. It's okay. It's right after this because he's reacting to this.
Sugar.
No, not here.
Well, that's her letting go.
Well, stop. Yeah, I didn't want you to get claimed. Like, I just speed up to the...
You obviously do, but
Killed
that's...
Remy and thousands of people on Genosha.
Now she's trying to justify her murder.
Yeah,
Man, my man.
yeah,
Oh, you skipped it. There, it
I
was,
didn't skip it.
No,
just,
you had to have skipped the part with Wolverine where he reacts to her. Yeah.
We all wanted to do.
No, so he said what we all wanted to do.
Yeah.
Is it him that says, "Is this what we are"? I could have swore one of them
No, it's
says that.
Nightcrawler said, "What have you done?"
But one of them, I swear, in this episode said, "Is this what we've become now?" I think it might have been. Anyway, doesn't matter. Yeah.
So, oh look, another new bad guy character.
No. This is, in fact, I'm calling it now. I think Gambit's going to come back as one of these because dude's got the power to reanimate life and it still have some of their consciousness, which they showed here when Jean Grey was connecting to the mind of this thing and was still getting Trask's stuff from Trask. She could still sense Trask, but he's a slave to this. It's basically master mold nanites or whatever. Right. You know, makes them like human sentinels.
They're X-Men Borgs.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're human sentinels. And yeah. So anyway, basically.
Meanwhile, Mr. Sinister is working with me. And so, which I don't appreciate them putting me in here. Look at that. That's freaking me. Look at that.
Bastion over here?
No, they never say his name, by the way. They just show his face and you see, you know what this is? This is freaking Star Trek Into Darkness. Because like when he goes, "I am Khan," right? They show this guy's face like I'm supposed to go, "Ooh, I had no idea who this is," except that he looks, he has my beard and gray hair. That's all I know. I thought at first, because he's sitting there over Magneto's body, that maybe he's another Magneto because he's got white hair like Magneto.
Oh, they don't tell you that's Bastion?
No, they don't.
So I just knew that from the comics?
You just knew it because, you know what Bastion looks like. I don't know who, and so I actually ended up looking it up, and I already knew that it was some guy.
He's from the future. He's come back to kind of
too much. It's just like we don't need Cable. We don't need that whole thing. We don't need the stuff with Bishop. We didn't need the Madeline Pryor stuff.
But all of that stuff was a continuation from the original animated series, though. They were continuing those stories.
You know what? They did not have Madeline Pryor in.
Well, you don't know that because I quite frankly think they did. In fact, you and I both. I thought we agreed on when the swap happened, and it happened during that show.
Yeah, but that's all retcon.
Not necessarily. These people could have had it because they
could have not done it. They had there was nothing that forced them to do the Madeline Pryor thing. Or you know what? You make the Madeline Pryor thing happen next season. But you don't have to do everything in one season.
You know what would look good? This is, sorry guys, kind of a production note. Right below us where, there's dead space except for when there's a super, we could have like a ticker there. You know what I mean? We could make we'll talk about that later. Just remind me. I want to make a ticker to go down there. That'll be cool.
Yeah, you do that.
Well, yeah, just remind me after the show. We'll talk about it. I got to figure out.
I don't know that that's as easy as you're trying to think it
That's
is.
why I'm saying we'll have to talk about it. So I'm trying to move on. I was just like a production note.
So
right there at the end. Yeah. So basically the cliffhanger ending here is, Magneto's not dead,
and a guy with white hair and a beard is there.
It's Bastion, the same guy that killed.
Yeah, but you don't know anything about him. You know about him because you've read comic books with him in it. I have no idea who this guy is. He's never appeared in the X-Men animated series before, and they don't say anything about who he is or what he can do. So I have no effing idea about him at the end of this episode.
Okay, well, maybe you'll have it. Okay, well, maybe this will all unfold. Maybe they're doing a slow burn. They'll unfold all the info for you at the end.
Slow burn. Oh my God!
I don't know,
they're
man.
cramming so much crap into this.
No, I'm talking about not giving you the resolution until like the end.
No, it's not a matter of giving you I don't need the resolution. I just need to know, okay, why should I be impressed that this guy's here? Because they're making it out that this guy being there is a big deal. It's the I am Khan from Star Trek Beyond. Or Star Trek Into Darkness. Because I'm supposed to go, ooh, it's Bastion. I don't know who that is.
I am agreeing with you, dude. I'm realizing all this shit now as you're saying it because I didn't even have that point of view. Stop. I get it. Okay. I'm sorry. So we're going to have two different types of experiences which form our opinions, which is why I'm going to probably like this episode a lot more than you did. Don't hop into the Star Trek stuff yet. I'm going to try to start giving us clipping points so I can release videos of just this and just that, because I've gotten a lot of feedback from people who they don't have to fast forward and find stuff unless we're going to start tagging it.
Well, it's 1 hour and 44 seconds.
What is?
Right now.
That's fine.
Well, you said you needed to know.
So go back to the X-Men thing. Give us, because we haven't given our final thoughts or whatever. Like just the final.
Okay, my final thoughts is this series is crap right now.
There you go. See, I didn't realize that you had. That's how you feel.
This is some crap storytelling because this isn't storytelling. This is spaghetti flinging at the wall.
Okay. All right. And I respect your opinion, and I didn't think about it from your point of view because I just went into this with the knowledge I already had, and I love this. So I guess what we're learning here is if you've read the comics from the 90s to the 2000 teens, so that if you're like my age and read comics that chunk of time, basically, so 10 years ish younger. How much older? 8 years younger than you, something like that. 7, 8. I don't know. Anyway, just enough to where I'm just saying the age difference is because you stopped reading comics before me just by default because you're older.
No, I didn't stop reading comics because I'm older. I stopped
because you started had a girl probably.
No. Please. I stopped reading comics. In fact, my
sports,
wife,
maybe other activities.
When I first met my wife, she worked at a newsstand, and so she would bring me the comics like as soon as they received a shipment. She would grab the ones that I liked and buy them and bring them home.
Yeah, and Sentai Ranger, exactly. We all have our own. That's why I get so angry when people
Yes, but some viewpoints are wrong.
No, they're not necessarily wrong. They're different. It's perspective, man. That's why some people don't realize they're the bad guy.
Some people are wrong.
All right.
It happens.
Anyway, okay. So we're just going to agree to disagree. No. I'm actually loving this show so far. He thinks it's crap. That was our review of X-Men 97 episode 7. And I was trying,
you wouldn't let me finish. I didn't stop reading comics because I had a girlfriend. I stopped reading comics because, in my opinion, after around 1987, 1988, they all started going dark because the Dark Knight and Watchmen and Wolverine and stuff were super popular in 1986, and so everybody was like, well, we need to make comic books get darker and darker and darker.
You're really just proving my point here. You realize in 1986 I was I hadn't even started reading comics yet.
That was T'Pring.
Yeah, I don't start reading comic books for another. Yeah, I can hear you.
Hold on.
Oh God, this guy.
T'Pring, why'd you do that? She unplugged my...
One of these days, guys, we'll get through one episode where one of us doesn't have... I started it out with technical difficulties. I don't know if you can hear me. Now, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. Okay, he's not looking. Fine. So, yeah. What do we got here? Creep calls us the Mirror Universe Siskel and Ebert. I'll take it. Let's see. Stanley's got... He says he liked parts, like the mother being fine with the mutant, but wanting to protect the family business by making him keep it. disguised anyway. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a lot like the president who was like, it's an election year, man. I want to help you, but it would hurt my poll numbers. Conversation that happened with Scott Summers earlier. And well, thanks for promoting another channel. We are actually, as soon as Salty gets back, we're going to be starting our Discovery live stream. So yeah, wish she were here so we could be starting it at pretty much the exact same time, because if that's anything any of you viewers are interested in, you're probably going to leave so you can start hearing two people talk about Discovery, if you're like Chief Cook anyway. So thanks for that. And tell Cap we say hello. This was totally unintentional, by the way, running our shows against each other. So I'll have to talk to Salty and see what we can do about that. Let's see. Bradley says, I'm guessing Salty stopped reading comics around the time Superman dang near got vaporized by that nuke. I honestly don't know. I mean, if he's using the years 86, 87, I would have been 7, 6, 7, 8 around then, depending on what, time of the year it was. And I don't believe I started reading comic books until, if Mom's here, she probably knows better than me. She bought all of them when I was a kid. I want to say when I was in middle school. So sixth grade, so I'd have been, and I was always like a year younger than everybody else. So I don't know, like 13, maybe 12, 13. I feel like I was younger because my Aunt Lisa got me something. Anyway, I don't know. Point is, the age does have something to do with it, just because of the passage of time. So when I jumped in, they were already dark and edgy, and I guess I just, didn't know what I didn't know. And by the time I went back and read stuff from the 80s, because comic books will have the little thing with the asterisk, and then at the bottom in the yellow box they'll say what storyline they were referencing and what comic book issues you could read to catch up. So when that kind of thing happens and you go back, you read the older stuff, but I'm doing it from a totally different point of view, just like with us in this episode. So if you've read all the X-Men comics and you like the X-Men comics and this kind of stuff has been exciting you, I'm totally on board and I get it and I really dig it. But I do see Salty's point of view, because if you're not familiar with any of that stuff, then yeah, I mean, I can see how, like he's saying, he called it crap, I think. So thanks for checking out this review. I need to learn how he's got this technical difficulties thing, clip, but we don't have it in here. That would be funny. I would add it. I would totally add it right now and just put it on a loop if I could until he gets back, because this would be a good cut point. As well.
Yeah, of course you think it would be a good cut point as you were sitting there talking trash about my age.
I wasn't talking trash. I was trying to give a conclusion to, because I do want to start cutting these out. I wasn't being ageist at all.
Absolutely were.
No.
Acting like, because I'm old is why I don't like dark comics.
See, and Ben, it's hard to keep up without a guide. Well, the guide would be to read these. When you hear me talk about these storylines, just Google it. Hell, I bet you could probably just read them on the internet. Not even have to go to the comic book shop.
Now, it is true that when I was young, comic books were not that dark and edgy, as you like to call it. But
I was quoting somebody in the chat when I said that, by the way. I was quoting,
But they focused on heroes, villains, good, evil, right, wrong, black and white kind of things. It was kind of like the old trilogy of Star Wars, as opposed to comics became more and more like The Last Jedi, where they were more nihilistic. They were more basically dark. Heroes were all corrupt. Are the villains really that bad, or do they have a point?
Yes.
And quite frankly, that ruins the whole genre.
So do you see, we're going ahead. Apparently, Captain Stuart Foley just started a live stream at 7:00 going over Discovery. So we're actually going head to head with him, and People
So,
brought. Okay, so I'm just saying. So we should probably start talking Discovery. You
yeah,
know.
I mean, Captain Foley is welcome to make mistakes.
No, I think maybe because of my time changes and the day change, maybe we inadvertently, we should
Captain
talk
Foley
later.
usually doesn't stream this late.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
it's kind of odd for them. Usually, Trek Yards does their streams like way earlier, but anyway, I just think that
Okay, I think Bradley might be trying to take a dig at me, but or being ageist or making a
No,
joke.
I think he's being correct. You like the darker versions of
I just no, it's what you get introduced to, man. That was the point I was trying to make. My jumping in point was different from yours. Just like with this episode of X-Men '97, episode 7, Bright Eyes. So let's get to Discovery now, shall we? Hey, look at this. This was sweet. Crimson One with the comment, "Love each of you. Point of view 100." Nice. Thank you. See, everybody's got their own point of view. Yeah, and Chief Cook, yeah. Let's talk about this stupid show called Disco. Because my God, I can't wait to. You can do your hot take first, and then let me do.
Oh, no. You've already.
Or I can go.
Yeah, you need to go because you've already talked about it. So go ahead.
Man, all right. Just when they trick me into liking one episode and giving me false hope, they remind me of what a shitty, how I am just not the target audience for this show. I didn't need an entire episode wasting time with some backstory, love story, CW bullshit. This episode is terrible. It's a waste of my time. And I didn't bother to rewatch it, not even for this review. I watched it once. Felt like shooting myself, like not literally, metaphorically. And was dreading talking about it today. So this will probably be a short one, folks. I got nothing good to say about it. That's my hot take.
That's it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this episode, I will say this. It made me angry, but not for the reasons you're thinking. Yeah, the CW stuff I would have cut out. But other than that, I think it's actually a pretty solid episode. And what made me angry about it was later on in the day when I watched Popcast do their review of it.
And I haven't seen it, man. I haven't had time to see it.
I wanted to punch him in the face.
What did he say? What did he say? What did he say? What did he say? Like,
his
just a couple examples. Just a couple examples.
No, well, he went on problem after problem after problem where he's talking about these things that were like plot inconsistencies and canon problems and stuff like that. And they were
I want to watch it now. I'm going to go watch it now. Not now, but later.
And they were all wrong. So, for example, he said that it makes no sense that the Enterprise or the ISS Enterprise was inside this wormhole because the wormhole was created by the burn, and the burn didn't happen until hundreds of years after the ISS Enterprise. So it makes no sense whatsoever, except that that's not what they said. They said that the reason that the entrance to the wormhole was fluctuating was because of the burn, not the existence of the wormhole.
He might have been doing one of those things where he was sorry, hold up. He might have been doing one of those things where he was watching the show for the review while doing something else and missed small details and it pissed him off. No, and that's his fault, kind of thing. That's happened to me. I've had to rewatch stuff.
Right, but this is not the first time he's done this, where he goes on these rants about how horrible a show is.
Which one was it? Was it Brian or was it?
Yeah, it was Brian.
Okay. Oh my God! Why am I blanking on the Shane? Thank you. Oh my gosh.
It was whichever the one that I usually talk to. I don't know, but
Brian, is it the one with the beard or the other one? Okay, that's Brian.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, he was just and this is not, like you said, it's not the first time where I've seen him just going off on a show. Like he did this to Strange New Worlds a few times, where he'd be going off.
There's zero explanation of why it was the Enterprise, and all we get at the end is like. When Martin Green crying happy tears because the people
you need
defected and didn't blah, blah,
so you need them to spoon feed you everything.
No, I don't need him to spoon feed me
I'm just
everything,
saying,
but
that's
give me an example. Okay, because first of all, if you go back to the episode in A Mirror Darkly, right, with it from Enterprise, we've already established that during that time frame where it would have been the Enterprise and Defiant, that took place, in a similar. So they do need to explain how because that means the Enterprise disappeared, there wouldn't be an alternate version of the Enterprise at that time if it got lost in space type of thing.
No, you see, no, because there's nothing that says what probably happened is the ISS Enterprise was lost in the wormhole after the events of Mirror Mirror.
It would have had to be.
Right.
So
but and so these people escaped the Empire when things.
Then why didn't they name drop like actual name, like the names she was saying at the end?
I was kind of hoping they were going to show like a captain's log from Spock.
Something
that would have been cool. They didn't do it, but I was kind of hoping they would.
Yeah, because this show sucks. They accidentally have one good. They accidentally have one good episode.
Wow, dude!
This show is garbage, man. Like the writers of this show should be taken out to the back lot and shot. They should be lined up single file so I can put the gun point blank to the first person's head and kill as many as I can with one bullet.
All right, so
it's crazy.
All right, now that you've established, I get it. You want to be on the Phantom Menace. I understand.
No, I don't. It's just like this show is so bad,
freaking bad. Yeah, I mean, I understand. Look, Discovery is the weakest of the Star Trek series by far. It still is, but it's not.
I meant to pee
bad.
during the break. I'm gonna give you a break because I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and you can get away with saying whatever you want about this drivel of a show.
Why is your camera been off?
You keep shilling. It is. Oh, it is. Hold up. That was an accident. I didn't have the screen up. But I was ranting. I was clearly paying attention because I was ranting at you the whole time. Mm-hmm. But I didn't have our screen up. Anyway, I got to go to the bathroom. I'll be back.
Oh, goodness. So I'll look at the chat for a minute while we're waiting on him. Let's see. Oh man, we have another timeline, another one. Well, no, the Mirror universe is the same Mirror universe we've seen before. Don't waste ammo. Not sure what you mean there, Stan. Ben says, so last week was turning face is strange. This week, turning face is stupid. So I disagree. Like I said, I think that some of the, I would have cut out pretty much everything with Tilly, because, and Dr. Culver. I didn't mind the backstory, honestly, on Maul and Locke. But I think the Tilly and Dr. Culver stuff was a waste. They should just jump the ship into the Calvin timeline and be done with it. My own personal theory is that the Calvin timeline is a branch off of this timeline, which came about after Enterprise Regeneration found the Borg. Look what they did to the breed. I assume he's eating the Breen. What? They didn't do anything to the Breen. In fact, this is the first time we've seen the Breen. There's no inconsistencies with the Breen thus far. Does he pee at his desk? I think he probably does. I have nothing good to say about it either, says Serstros. Let's see. They're scared.
No, I don't pee at my desk, or otherwise I wouldn't leave.
He pees on his desk, not in his desk. Also, I promise I was quoting Bowie on the show a while ago. I had no idea that Disco was going to do it too, and with the same song, no less. Okay. All right, so I don't know if you heard me, but I said I would cut out the Tilly and Dr. Culver stuff for sure.
Oh, hell yeah. That was more CWBS that we don't need. More
but I didn't mind the Maul Locke backstory.
Like, they're right. It's almost like they make these shows for teenage girls or something. I don't understand it.
Well, they do. I mean, these writers, remember, we've talked about this before. The writers.
Is this the show with the Ugly Betty writers?
I believe they do have Ugly Betty writers on staff, yes.
The one that Jason was. I miss Jason. Yeah. Okay. That's this show. Okay.
But anyway, so.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So they're trying to figure out why the warp trail disappeared, and then they find this wormhole.
Is it a wormhole? I thought they said it was like a tear in space or something. Was it a wormhole? I can't remember. I only watched it once. It wasn't a good episode. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It's a wormhole that goes to what looks like what's a pocket dimension kind of thing.
Okay. All right.
And obviously there's another entrance to this pocket dimension that used to go to the mirror universe. But the entrance to the wormhole is fluctuating. They think because of the burn. And the entrance is too small for the starship to go through.
Creep. I don't know if you showed this one already, but this is they should. They totally should.
Yeah, I read that.
Okay.
So they get the idea of taking a shuttle, which, by the way, Popcast thought was book ship. It's not book ship. It's just a shuttle. They do say that multiple times.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they do. It's a 32nd century shuttle.
Yeah. And we have an interesting conversation with Rayner and Burnham. Here's another problem with Popcast. Popcast says,
"Oh, stop referencing. Stop it. Stop it."
No, because it pissed me off. It really did. Because he goes, "Oh yeah, and I can't believe Burnham takes Book with her. Why would she take Book with her?" And he goes on this tirade about that. And in this scene, she says she's taking Book because he has a connection with Maul. And it makes perfect sense. Now, it doesn't make sense that she would go. And I would be perfectly fine with someone going off about the fact that Burnham has to make everything about her. I don't like that. I don't think she needs to be the center of everything. But Book going makes perfect sense.
This Crimson Menace, I wish I'd have saw this. It was right on the money with the X-Men thing. I'll anyway. I don't know who that is, but thank you if you're still watching.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Because there's not that many people on my chat, in the one I look at in EV Mux, my channel gets skipped over basically. So I missed a couple of, this was from
EV Mux should have both chats merged
11 minutes. It does, but there's so much more chat activity going on your channel and very little on mine that it gets lost in the shuffle, you know what I mean? Kind of thing.
Well, that's why you should read everything.
I'm working on it. I'm trying.
Yeah, I'm sitting there advancing and doing the video side. You're supposed to be doing.
Well, when
chat.
I'm ranting and using my brain to communicate my thoughts into words to you,
is that what you're doing?
I get distracted. I can't multitask basically. Effectively. So I was not looking at it. I wasn't paying attention to it. I apologize.
All right.
Man, that dog licks loud.
She is definitely a licker. All right, so. They take the shuttle into the what, dude?
No, like that when Joker's looking at the photos. Crap. I was waiting to get to something good, but you just keep scanning through crap.
That's you see, insulting it is not a.
It's terrible. It's just terrible. It's not good.
No, don't say it's just terrible.
And we don't even know. Well, hold up. Who's this bitch? Okay, they already had a bridge crew that we barely knew. Why am I looking at a new woman on the bridge? Why?
Well,
what's her name? Who is she? What's her backstory? I don't give a fuck. This is retarded,
dude.
I'm not supposed to. I'm sorry. This is idiotic.
You need to build a filter on that, dude. You really
okay. Sorry. Hey, I slipped. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, but you can't apologize to the algorithm. So stop.
Idiotic. It's just idiotic. Moronic. Imbecilic.
Anyway, you know what? There are plenty of episodes of TOS where they have random people at the helm that
yeah,
are
but
not
again, we got 2 to 3 times as many episodes though. Okay.
Yeah, but so what?
No, it makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Because did you care about the other characters?
The core characters, yeah. You know why? Because I got to know them, and so yes, Sulu.
No, I'm not talking. I'm not talking the original series. I'm not talking about the original series.
Okay, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about Okoya and Dittmer. Did you care about
No,
them?
and you know why? You want to know what the problem is? Because they barely got any screen time as it was.
So you didn't.
So
care.
why take
Hold
screen
on,
time
hold-
away from them
Danny,
and add new people?
Danny.
Yeah.
I'm asking you to either refute this or concede it. So if you did not give
I'm refuting.
No, shut up for a minute. I made my point. You can't
Okay.
refute a point that hasn't been made. Okay?
Go ahead.
If you don't give a crap about the regular helm and navigator, why do you give a crap about the fact that there's different people at the helm and navigation?
Because they should be making me care. That's what makes it so stupid. So like void of intelligence. It's like, so
How is it devoid of intelligence that there's more than two people that can fly
I'm talking from a storytelling point of view.
Yeah.
These people have been around for 5 effing seasons and I barely know them. Come on, man. You could be using this time.
How well do you know Commander Kyle from the original series?
This is not comparable to that.
Yeah, it
The two
absolutely
people,
is.
okay, I would be looking at Chekhov if this was the original series right now in the close-up, and out of focus would be Sulu. Okay? And I know
and
those two
Chekhov-
characters, and they spent time with those two characters
Hold on,
and bothered
and
to give those characters backstory.
Chekhov did not appear in the first season and appeared in less than half of the episodes of the second season.
See, and they did a good job building his character then because he
No,
felt
but
more
you
important. So much so he got away with being in Wrath of Khan when he should have never been in it. But anyway, let's get back to this.
Anyway, you're just picking.
Oh, this
on-
is funny. Sirstus says Danny hates Delta Shift. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, honestly, they just.
I like this guy. Now he's still. I like that guy there. Yeah,
Rayner.
I liked him in Rayner. I liked him in this episode. He was the only thing I liked in this episode. Basically,
I like him too. I think he's a solid character. And notice he's working with these new people on the bridge.
yeah,
and-
he's already from the events of the last episode, maybe the last two. You can see that he's got better chemistry with the crew now.
Right.
At least that's how it came across to me.
And so that's where they find the Enterprise.
I really think this was a huge missed opportunity. That should have been the Defiant in my person. But that I'm not going to hold
Why
that
would
against
it
the
be the
show.
why would it
I'm
be
not
the
going to hold it
Defiant?
against. No, I'm just saying it would have been nice to tie into Enterprise. That's all. That's why I'm not going to hold it against the show. I'm just saying personally, for my taste.
I thought it was cool that
know.
it was the ISS Enterprise.
Well, of course, that's probably what they thought. Oh, man, everybody thinks this, and it's it's the Enterprise, whatever. It's cool. I just
love
would have
the
liked.
fact
I
that
would have
you
liked
think-
a deep. I would have liked. Look, I'm not. It's not a complaint. It's not anything I'm holding against it. It just would have been nice to get a deep cut reference to Enterprise. Enterprise doesn't get enough love.
You know what? So you're complaining that's the wrong ship.
I'm not complaining. I just said it's not a complaint. It's not. I'm just saying I wish Enterprise got more love. That's all I'm saying. And that was an opportunity. I felt like it could have been an opportunity to give that show more love. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Let's not make a big deal out of it. Just throwing it out there.
So I fixed the opening credits.
What do you mean?
The opening credits to the show.
To Discovery?
Yeah. Let's see.
Okay.
It's gotta be one hell of a story.
You ready?
Okay. I dig it. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, so that's the new official opening credits to Discovery. I'll play it one more time for everybody if you missed it.
Good stuff,
right.
man.
So they find inside this this weird place the ISS.
So what is this?
Enterprise.
Is this like this is supposed to be like a in between the mirror universe
Yeah, this
and,
is like a
their
pocket-
universe? It's like
Yeah.
it's a okay.
It's like a pocket dimension in between universes. And whether or not it still connects to the mirror universe, they don't really get into. It probably doesn't because, Burnham even says it must have been here for centuries because it's been so long since it's even been possible to cross over.
Right.
So, the ship has been sitting here for a very, very long time.
Right. And at the end, they do have that little where she's talking about, so and so became, people. Yeah. There was a few. There was like a few. It wasn't just
and
one.
I don't know if it's just me, but Tilly does look like she's gotten bigger since the last episode.
Hey, man, you're the one that says not to bring it up.
I'm not making fun of her, but it's just weird because she does seem.
The guys at that Friday Night Tights meetup were talking about she was pregnant at some point. So maybe that's what
that was in between like season 2 and 3.
Oh, was it? Okay, so never mind then. Maybe she's pregnant again, or maybe she just stays pregnant. I don't know. Oh wow, that's a very unflattering shot. But
they whoever did the photography here did not do a good job on Mary Wiseman.
Yeah.
This is where we get that WB crap with her and Dr. Culver, and I really could.
No, this is the beginning of it, and then we have another scene at the end. That's
right,
just
but
like,
I
oh my god, and that was the other thing. After there's a part of this episode where it could have just been like slowly increase the volume of intense music, and then cut to black, and then that be it. And I don't need to see all this aftermath bullshit. CW. It was very anticlimactic. This episode did not make me want to watch the totally opposite effect than X-Men 97 episode 7. This episode had on me regarding Discovery. I don't care about. I would not watch the next episode if I did not have to for this show. Okay. Whereas if I didn't have to watch X-Men for this show, I can't wait to see next week's episode of X-Men. Total opposite effect. This is a garbage show. Garbage.
So you're describing X-Men 97 as far as being a garbage show right now.
Not at all. I'm talking about Discovery.
You're talking about X-Men 97 with 17,000 plot lines going in 17 different directions.
Okay, whatever. Let's get back to this.
Yeah. Because here we have Rayner, who's trying to basically, I think he's making the crew more efficient. I do like the fact that when he talks to Stamets here, he's like, okay, tell me in one sentence.
Yeah. It's like, I don't need to know how you boil the cake or whatever.
Yeah. And like, you guys boil cake? Don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah. That was he's the best part of this show so far.
Oh yeah, he absolutely is.
He's my new Captain Georgiou. Like he's my new they give me one good character I like.
Why do you like Captain Georgiou? I mean, she's like
let's not open that can of worms. You can watch it in a previous video, folks. We've had that argument.
You're probably looking forward to that stupid Section 31 movie.
Not at all, actually.
Why? It's got Georgiou in it.
Yeah, but I don't have any faith in it. I'm not. I'll watch it, but I'm not like, ooh, I can't wait till it comes out.
Of the heart,
you bastard. I hate that song.
You said it, not me. And so he gets, and then I like. Okay, yeah, I get it. Harder than it looks. More words, please.
Yeah.
So but I like that people get that he wants brevity and he wants efficiency.
Yeah.
And so that's what he is about. He's not about wasting time with the CW.
I don't give a fuck about your feelings, yo. Just get cut to the chase.
So then
that's why I love him. He's a great character.
So then we get to the Strange New World set, and they're trying to figure out what's going on the ISS Enterprise. And yeah, I will grant you this was a missed. Now, granted, they still have opportunity because they have the ship at the end of this episode.
And instead of letting I forget the kid's name, instead of letting him take the ship, they give it to the two chicks. That's why they're not going to.
I think they're off the show. I think that's what's going on.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah, that's my guess because we've only seen them a couple of times so far.
Yeah, and they're not in this episode without any kind of explanation, but maybe it was Delta Shift or whatever.
Yeah. So,
and then they just, with the line of dialogue, explained why they're going to be gone for a while, if not forever.
Right. So yeah, but anyway, they do say the captain's logs have been deleted, and I think they do that because they don't want to have to do a whole big thing about evil Kirk and all that. But I think it would be fun to go back to that and to
What,
see.
like, we don't even know who the captain of this Enterprise was. I would have liked to have at least got that. They could have,
Well,
with
we
the
know
line
at
of
least in
dialogue,
part.
given us a nice Easter
No,
egg.
well,
with
we
that.
know in part. We know that it was Captain Pike, that he was assassinated by Captain Kirk, and that Captain Kirk was then taken down by Spock, who led a rebellion against the Empire.
Yeah, so
And
whose
then-
Enterprise is this right now? Is
and
it
then
Spock's? Because if he led
and
the
then-
Empire, because they said in the log, the thing they
That
find
some-
later, that this ship was defecting,
then
basically.
sometime after that, it got in the hands of rebels, commanded by apparently Suru, and
That's right. They do say that story. Yes,
Saru, and so Saru and these rebels took the ship.
How was Saru even there? Okay, well, I guess he would be there at Discovery.
Everybody's
Okay,
duplicated. Now, the only thing, people were saying, didn't they eat Saru in season 1? I'd have to go back and look. Was it Saru that they ate? But it was still the only record they saw was a Kelpian led them. It doesn't they just assumed it was Saru.
I got you.
So, but I'm trying to remember if it was Saru that Michael Burnham was chowing down on in season 1.
Oh my God! I think it was actually. Now it's been so long since season 1 was so bad. I can't. Oh man. Well, anyway.
And then she kind of realizes that's Spock's old station.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was a nice touch, her thinking about that. I just think it would have been cool if they found a personal log or something.
There should have been something of Spock because of the whole Michael. They already. Never mind. I just had a flashback of anger from season 1, 2. Just.
Right, but I think that this would have been a great opportunity to get if you got Ethan Peck do.
I mean, you already why not do nice stuff like that since you already made this preposterous thing a thing? You know what I mean?
But what I was gonna say is you have Ethan Peck doing a captain's log about how how Kirk had inspired him to try to fight the way the Empire was. And that he just hoped he had the strength of his sister or something, to
some shit, yeah,
to make her feel like, oh, he loves me in both universes or something. That even though that's a little on the CW side,
I wouldn't have gone for that, but some kind of Easter egg would have been nice, or member berry, as you like to call it.
Yeah. But then they get a thing saying they need to go to the transporter room, and they see a bunch of kids' blankets and toys and stuff like that, and they're like, "What the f?" And that's when they find out that this was actually a refugee ship, and so they go to
something that
sickbay.
would have been like Spock's fighting the good fight kind of thing. That would have been better, not some CW shit. Don't even mention Burnham.
So then they get into a little bit of a firefight with Mull and Locke. They get into a standoff. And
Well, that's because emergency shit happens.
no, the
force
emergency
fields.
stuff doesn't happen until later. Right now,
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, they're in the straight up standoff beforehand.
Okay.
Because they're trying to talk them down, and then
Oh, yeah, that's right. And then Burnham realizes they're about to shoot. She's like, oh, well,
Yeah.
well.
And so Burnham is like, okay, what's going on? And then we get our first flashback to her dealings with the Breen.
Oh, is Mom leaving? Mom's leaving. Good night, Mom. I know it's late there on the East Coast. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, but you don't usually
Love you.
care. So we get our first flashback about the Breen, and we also find out that Locke is in fact Breen, and so now we know what a Breen looks like, which I think is interesting. But and we also find out why they're always wearing the helmets. Apparently, Breen are gelatinous unless they're exposed to an atmosphere, and then they become solid. But the Breen consider their solid form to be embarrassing, and they prefer to stay in gelatinous form. But the only way to do that apparently is to keep the helmet on. But she starts flirting with Locke, and in order to make a deal for them both to get rich or something. Then we get back to the standoff, and they decide to shoot each other some more.
If you remove this, it's like the whole episode. This whole episode's garbage.
I don't. I disagree. I think this is interesting, and they're filling in as to why, because now we know what Locke and Maul are running from, and why they're so desperate.
Oh, the power of love. Bullshit. It's garbage. It's like, I don't know.
Really, so if you love somebody, you would.
This isn't what I watch Star Trek for, man. Carry on.
It's just getting into their motivation.
Yeah, like Stanley. Yeah, but do we care? Exactly, Stanley. No, we don't care. We don't give any fucks. Let's move on.
No, you don't care. I actually, like I said, I thought their backstory was interesting.
See, Brian, I don't know if you're late or something. That's exactly what I was saying earlier. It's exactly what I was saying earlier. Giving her press some love. Yeah.
Are we done?
Yeah, continue. I've said move on like three times.
And besides, the Defiant would have been ripped to shreds because I'm sure they, reverse engineered everything on the ship. And so we find out a little bit more about them. And so this is the Breen's gelatinous state, which we did see him like this before in the first episode. And remember, we were even trying to figure out why is he, gelatinous and then becoming solid. And now we know because he's.
Yeah.
What is your problem,
I care
dude?
so much. Yeah,
They're
because I gave a shit.
actually filling in actual questions that I had.
Wait, we've got 5 episodes left, and they're fleshing out some brand new characters I don't give a shit about at the end of a 5, 6. What is season 5? 5-year stint, whatever. So, not that I care. They're treating this with the same respect they've always treated Star Trek. 0. They haven't one good episode on accident. I'm convinced the rest of the season's going to be garbage. I hope I'm wrong. But just pointing out shit I don't care about.
Because you don't want to care about it. That's the problem. The reason you don't care about it is because you're not even trying. At this point, you're just looking.
I tried.
You are not.
I'm not looking. I'm not looking. I want to like this, especially after blowing last week's episode, basically. I was just openly fellating the last episode, okay? And this one is just, oh my God, 180. It's just total 180.
See, I think you're smoking crack. So Book and Maul go to the bridge trying to figure out a way to disable the shields.
You say I'm on crack. Ross Dogg's Broken Spirit says I'm on the money. So whatever.
Yeah, well, look at his icon.
I can't tell what that is. But
no. Because you don't care. I see.
Yes, Stanley, because it's not good for Star Trek. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. This is not Ugly Betty. This is Star Trek.
So this is not good Star Trek.
This is
Contact.
If they want to make something like this, make Star Trek 90210. Okay, or you just don't do this.
I'm not saying this is the best Star Trek. All right, I've said this is the worst of the.
In fact, you know what? That's exactly what they should do, because I can know to avoid it, and they can appeal to all the fucking people that you're trying to with this show. Make Star Trek 90210. There you go, WB. I'm giving you a free fucking idea. Take it, run with it. Make this drivel for the people who want to watch it, but at the same time, you give me good Star Trek. You can make Strange New Worlds a little bit better. Make it better.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. You know what I've noticed? The longer I stay sober, the more I need to go to the doctor for my ADHD. I'm kind of all over the place, aren't I?
Yeah, you really are.
Yeah. I'm surprised Mom hasn't made one of those jokes yet.
Well, your mom left.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So then after... Locke gets injured. Maul is tending to his wounds. Burnham and Book go back to the bridge, and they find out that the ship is...
Oh, that reminds me, by the way. I was right last week. You were wrong. That because she talks about it. That wasn't in the last season I didn't watch when she saw Book in their cabin. That was a possible future. That wasn't. Yes, it was. They reference it in this episode. They talk about it.
She says that it was nice.
Okay.
She doesn't
She
say
talks
it
no
was in
because
the future.
they have another conversation about they do they talk about that they
Well,
do they do
They do
because I
not.
remember they do twice
absolutely.
it comes up twice. I remember that it comes up twice in this episode.
Look, in case we don't make it, I need you to say something.
Right here.
Come on.
Here,
Don't
oh
go
wow, yeah,
No.
that's the first time this comes up.
No, this is the second time. The first time Book asked.
No, the second time is after they make it and they live through this, and then maybe they talk about it 3 times because they do talk about it toward the end of the episode.
This is towards the end of the episode.
Oh, thank God already! Really?
Yes.
Oh, it is.
You've been so irrational, you have lost track of everything.
Okay.
But
Irrational.
Yes, irrational.
Upset,
The first-
agitated, aggravated.
Yeah,
angry.
but for no reason. You're
You're
just
making me watch crap. That's
whatever.
You were one of the surprises in the time cycles. That's all.
See, you were one of the surprises.
Yes, she
Not-
was saying that, but she didn't say you were in the future.
Okay, well, I'm still reading it that way then, man. So that's fine. Whatever. Like, let's
It makes no sense.
Doesn't have to argue.
Why
about
would
it.
that be in the future when in the future everybody was dead?
Well, further in the future, everybody was dead, and I said a possible future.
It wasn't dude.
It's just like with this X-Men stuff. Days of Future Past was a possible
nice.
future. It was nice. See,
And we were happy.
and we were happy.
Yeah, were past tense.
But because she was in the future, but it was in the past.
No,
to
she
her.
was in the past because
I'm telling you, it
that's
was
when
the
they were
future.
together.
What do you guys think in the
You
chat?
don't. You see, the problem is you didn't watch the season in question. they
you're
were
right. Okay, no,
living
okay,
effing
okay.
together
I didn't-
on the ship. That
Okay.
was their living quarters.
Okay, all right then. Okay, all right.
All right, so stop trying to argue over crap you do not even know about. You're just trying to find more things
Okay,
to
Stanley,
dislike about the show.
hold up,
that you
Stan-
without paying attention to it.
So it's not paying attention. I just did not watch last season. Stanley's also agreeing with you. It was in the past, so it's cool. Creep, I like this. He says, new rule: Discovery is not canon.
We don't get to decide what is and isn't canon.
Mike Richards says, I need a tranquilizer dart.
Yeah, yeah, for Danny.
Yeah, that's what it said. Yeah.
So they use a tractor beam to signal the Discovery. She puts a code into the pulsing of the tractor beam so that Rayner would know that it's them. And they
What did you
figure
think
out
about the reveal of that? What that code was? What did you think about that?
that it was from that poem.
Yeah.
It was
Wasn't that
typical-
her? That was like her showing. I don't know. Watch you not like that. Because that was basically her showing she had some knowledge of him. He didn't realize she would know.
Right.
And then when
but
he heard
but
it, he was like, "Oh, that's."
Here's my problem
You know.
with it. I mean,
So that's kind of cool. That's more relationship. That's the only shit that I like that they do right so far is the relationship between.
I'm mixed on it because it follows a trope that they do in Trek a lot, and not just Trek, but a lot of shows do this, where they act like there's something that's really important to a character that's always been important to that character, but they've never mentioned it before, and they'll probably never mention it again.
Wow, Chief is being harsh. So I
Chief-
tell you
Chief
what.
you know what, Chief?
Yeah,
You want to waste of time? Get that effing icon off my screen.
No, here
Because I don't like it, and I keep telling you not to bring it onto my channel. Get rid of that stupid icon.
No, you might
Take
get
it
mad
down.
at me.
I don't want to see it.
I just put his ass in timeout. If he's so bored, go somewhere else. There you
Oh
go.
wow! You put him in timeout.
I sure as fuck did. Yeah.
I didn't tell him to put you in timeout, Chief. I wasn't going that far.
No, man. Instead of bitching and complaining about being bored with our coverage of a boring ass show, just change the channel, like I wish I could do on this boring ass show. Anyway, continue.
So then we get a really nice shot, actually, of the Enterprise coming out of that wormhole.
Yeah, and notice that's why I tried so many different thumbnails because I wanted the Enterprise shot.
It's just so dark. That's the problem.
It was, yeah. So, and then the one where they were coming out of it with the tractor beam, I had a couple good options of that, but that was blown out so bright. Yeah, like this right here.
Yeah.
This was one of the screen grabs I tried. Yeah.
Yeah, that is absolutely gorgeous. I mean,
Yeah.
props
Yeah.
to the visual effects team.
Yeah.
This Enterprise already looks really nice, but they did a great job.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not hating on things just to hate on them. The shit they do right, I admit. And they just did last episode so I just wish this episode. Show me this episode 2 episodes later. If you have to show me this episode, you should have given. Yeah, that's what I used for the thumbnail. That's what I ended up using. Yeah. Yeah, and this is where
where Rayner and Burnham
Yeah.
talk about it a little bit.
Yeah.
You see, like I said, my problem with it is the trope, though, that they're never going to mention this poem again. And yeah, it was, but what would have been good, especially in a serialized show like this, is if they established. Like, remember earlier in this episode where Burnham says she's been studying his culture before they left.
Mm-hmm.
And so it would have been better if that conversation took place like last week, or the week before even. And so that you build it to a payoff.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, as opposed to having it all contained in one episode.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Hey, look, and even Creep can say something nice about Discovery.
I've said that. I think.
Yeah, I know you have. Yeah. See, it's not like we don't. We're fans of Star Trek. We want to like it.
No,
Why I'm so upset is
don't
because they're
wanna
giving me shit. It's just because go back and watch. I loved last week's episode. I gave it high praise.
And then
this is unnecessary. This should have ended
This
after
is the worst shot of Tilly in the show. Look at
It doesn't. I don't even care. This is a totally unnecessary scene.
No, I agree. I don't care about the Culver Tilly subplot. I really couldn't care less.
Yeah.
They could have cut that out of the episode completely.
Totally. And it would have had zero effect on the episode, know.
So you see, I'm not just trying to be nice to the episode just to be nice. I definitely, the things that I thought were a waste, I will say get rid of. And the Culver Tilly plot line, totally kill.
Yeah.
Just totally get rid of. And so far for this season, every scene with Adira in it, dump it. Except for when the only exception is when actually not even when they go to Trill, because they go to Trill to talk to Gray. So get rid of Adira out of the series completely. And
I wouldn't go that far, but I think
she serves no purpose.
Fine. I actually think Tilly is even more useless. They should have left the character at Starfleet Academy because nothing she's been in matters.
Right.
The
show is bloated with characters.
And anything that she did that happened to matter, you could have easily had a different character who does matter do it.
And notice, like, we have all this crap with Tilly and Culver, and Saru's not even in the episode.
Yeah.
Now granted, I know he's back at Federation headquarters now. That's his job. But so is he just out of the series now? I hope not, but maybe. But they have this.
You're lucky, Ross. That's why, like, I had to review it for another channel, and then I met you through that channel, and then there was a little bit of crossover, and then I just kind of jumped ship over to this channel, and then I finally just quit watch. I didn't even watch season 4, so you're lucky, Ross. I guess we're watching it, so you don't have to, buddy. So you're welcome, I guess. Hey, the progenitor.
Yeah. And so Burnham is thinking about the progenitor and the information they have.
And this is the third conversation. This is the one I'm talking about. This is the conversation I'm talking about, where that makes it even more clear to me that was a possible future. But I haven't seen season 4, so I'm wrong. Okay, I'm just saying from my point of view, because I didn't see season 4. That's how I was still taking it when they have this conversation here.
No, and that's the thing is that
that Enterprise right there even looks better than that garbage we reviewed yesterday. The Enterprise in Star Trek 2009. This ship looks better than that, and this is a television show.
I really like that ship. I've said that before.
Yeah, it's not offensive to me like the movie one is.
Yeah, the J.J. Abrams Enterprise is crap. But by the way, I don't know if you've seen the conversation I've been having on X today about that. Did you see that?
I didn't, but I'll be checking that out for sure.
Yeah, it's actually pretty funny. Some guy posted, let me see, where is it? Some guy posted something about the J.J. Abrams Enterprise. Oh yeah, they said, why do people like this? And they show the Enterprise from like Star Trek the Motion Picture, but not this, and they show the J.J. Abrams one. Mm-hmm. And so, let me go. So I responded with, why is this considered attractive and this not? And the impossible beauty standards set by Hollywood. All enterprises are beautiful starships.
Oh my God, it was trying to be like a virtue signaling spoof or something.
And
Yeah.
so I had to, I felt the need to respond to that. And oops, come on. Where is my response?
Okay, hold up. I found it. So this Malcolm Wood guy, why is this considered attractive and this not? In the impossible beauty standards set by Hollywood, all enterprises are beautiful starships. Oh, wow. Other people I know replied to this guy in addition to you.
So I said, well, we need to stop trying to suggest that unhealthy nacelles are attractive just because we do not want to hurt anyone's feelings. If you have unhealthy nacelles, see your doctor. and to which somebody actually responded to me. And I thought this was hilarious. And Bud, of course, said, and while we're at it, can anyone stop fat shaming the D? I mean, can you imagine how much stress she must have endured always being expected to live up to the original model's legacy? To which I responded to him saying, it's not fat shaming to say that the D's body is clearly unhealthy. Look, if you want to cruise around in the galaxy in a ship with an out of proportion saucer, that's fine. But stop telling me I have to think an unhealthy ship looks good. So yeah, I just thought that was fun. But this ship is not that. The Enterprise from Strange New Worlds, and now the ISS Enterprise now in Discovery is a beautiful looking ship. I mean, it's probably the best looking ship since 2009, and as far as Starfleet is concerned, and which is unfortunate. So yeah.
Yeah, well, they get, 2 things right this episode? But this is serious, so we rate it at the end anyway. Okay. Well, is this the, hold up.
And so, yeah, that's pretty much the end of
That's the end of the episode, yeah.
So, you loved it.
No, I hated it. Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah, but you loved the X-Men
Look at
episode.
this. Chief Cook was so patient. He stuck around throughout the entire 5-minute timeout session just so he could troll us some more. You gotta respect that. You know what? We gotta respect that level of commitment.
Oh,
cross me again, Chief, and it'll be 10 minutes. You've been warned. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
He's not kidding.
Yeah, at least you're ending it on a nice shot.
Yeah. And
look, okay, you want me to be more positive? I liked Rayner in this episode, and I liked the continuation of the Burnham and Rayner relationship building. I liked Rayner's everything I liked about Rayner except for this shot here, and I like this shot here. Everything else was crap. That's my review. You?
Danny's smoking crap.
No, I'm not.
I fully admit that the Culver Tilly stuff should be cut with extreme prejudice. Yeah. However, the rest of the episode I felt was a solid episode for Discovery, a mediocre episode for Trek. And so I actually, didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. And I liked the...
I found this... Okay. This episode was offensively bad. That's why I can... I'm not going to say I hate it. I'm not going to say I hate it.
Let me finish.
Hate's a strong... Okay, sorry. Well, you're over here spreading lies to people. I can't help it.
I am not spreading lies. You are.
Oh, okay.
I like the fact that we've gotten a little more lore on the Breen. This is more lore on the Breen than we've ever gotten before. And so, I mean, like the Breen appeared in the Dominion War, and we learned jack about them.
Yeah.
And so,
Ross, we talked about that yesterday, how huge that ship is. It's ridiculous.
So I thought that was cool. We learned a little bit about their culture. We learned a little bit about we now know what a Breen looks like. And the, I think bringing the ISS Enterprise in was cool. And I think haters gotta hate, and Danny's obviously something of a hater.
Wow.
So
wow,
there we go. So well, I don't know. Look, the episode was not that bad.
Dude, it